Yo, what's up everyone, welcome back to another Warzone video on the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be targeting console players because I know a lot of console players are trying to get better. You guys always asking me how can I improve in Warzone. So in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 of my best tips on how you guys can get way better and get an increase on your KD. Before we get into that, guys, for those of you that are wondering what KD actually means, all it means is kill death ratio, and basically the higher this number is, it basically means the more kills you get per death. So technically it does mean you're a better player. Everything is not reliant on KD. You can be a really good player with a somewhat average or low KD, so don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. Don't think that you need to have a high KD in order to be good at the game. A lot of times I'm doing stupid stuff and I'm up here dropping like 30s and 40s, but I only have like a 3 KD, so it's not super high compared to other streamers, YouTubers, but it's still pretty high compared to other, average players. So with that being said, I don't want to hold you guys on this topic too long. Let's go straight into the 5 tips. Alright guys, now on console, we all know that you guys have a disadvantage when it comes to 80 FOV. Obviously, this is a big problem because you can end up completely missing people when it comes to your games, but don't really look at that too much. I feel like the console community focuses too much on the fact that they play on 80 FOV, which is a disadvantage, but you can still bypass that and still drop bangers. I'm not just saying this, I've actually done this on the channel. A lot of you guys that are OGs would know that I've played in console for a very long time. I still play in console up to this day, and I'm constantly just dropping 25 and 30s, sometimes even 40s. So my first tip for you guys when it comes to how to get better and raise your KD has to do with movement, guys. Movement's really important if you guys are trying to get better at the game in general. Movement's going to help you guys in multiple ways. Number 1 is going to make you a harder target. Number 2 is also going to get you out of sticky situations that you wouldn't really be able to escape if you did not have good movement. And number 3, it just looks cool, guys. Come on, good movement is just something that is really uphold in the Call of Duty community. So if you guys do have good movement, it's going to help you guys a lot when it comes to your just maneuvering around the map. Movement's not as important, but it's pretty important for dropping high kills. All right guys, now my second tip I have for you guys has to do with your game knowledge, guys. Game knowledge is probably the most important thing out of all the tips I'm going to give you guys in today's video. Game knowledge basically means how well you react with what's going on around you, how well you're aware of what's going on around you. For example, if someone's shooting above you, being able to tell whether someone's above you or not is very important. And basically reading UAVs is a part of game knowledge. A lot of people don't know this, but the red dots on your mini map literally show what level they're on. Well, it doesn't show exactly what level they're on, but it does tell you whether or not they are above you or below you, which is really important. I feel like a lot of people don't actually take that to advantage. So being able to have good awareness like that is going to come in handy if you guys are trying to get better, because obviously if you guys know where your enemy is at before they know you are, it's a much higher chance you're going to kill them than they're going to kill you. So map knowledge alone can raise your KD dramatically by the simple fact that you know where people are. I really highly recommend, if you guys don't already, make sure you guys are always looking at your UAV or your radar, and if you guys can, always try to pop UAVs if you guys can, to look around for where people are. You never know, there might be a person just looking at you already when you pop the UAV through a window, and you can get an easy kill if they're actually not aware. All right guys, so my third tip I have for you guys is your aim, guys. Aim is pretty important. Obviously you don't have to have crazy aim, but having a solid shot is really important. If you guys are trying to raise your KD, then I highly recommend you guys train against bots. If you guys do own Modern Warfare, you can actually go into a bot lobby and you can just put on a bunch of bots, put like them on veteran if you want to get really good, or you can just put them on the lowest tier for the bot's skill, and you can basically just go around and practice your shot, practice your aim, your movement, your reaction time, game awareness, all of that. You can practice everything in bot lobbies, guys. I actually did this for a very long time. Basically every day I would get on and I would practice for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, and doing that every day is a really good way to get much better, guys. Mainly because you're always in a gunfight. Unlike in Rebirth, it's kind of hard to learn how to get better if you're never really in a gunfight that often. So if you guys are playing against bots, you're always in a gunfight, you're always practicing, you're always learning, and you're always improving, which is the point of the whole bot lobby thing. So if you guys do own Modern Warfare, I highly recommend that. If you guys don't own Modern Warfare, then there really isn't too much else you guys can do besides just playing the game. Playing the game in general is going to get you guys much better. Just play more, and obviously put these tips to you guys' advantage. Try to remember these tips as much as you guys can while you're playing, and you'll slowly start making adjustments. You guys will start hitting some nasty clips. All right guys, my fourth tip I have for you guys when it comes to getting better on console, this one's actually has to do with the settings, but if you guys slide over to controller settings, a lot of people have their button layouts on something that's kind of not so good. Most people hold the controller in the normal way, which is, you know, you have your two thumbs on the joysticks, your index fingers on the L1 and R1, and your index fingers probably control L2 and R2 as well, which is perfectly fine. You don't have to actually change this, but when it comes to movement, when it comes to other mechanics in the game, it is very, very good if you guys can learn how to play on bumper jumper. I'm actually gonna make a video on this entire you know, section in the future, but button layout is very, very important if you guys are trying to improve. It's going to allow you to do a lot of things that you cannot do holding the controller the normal way. If you guys do hold the controller the normal way, you guys still can be pretty good, but like I said, having like bumper jumper tactical, or even playing claw, or even some other ones that I've heard of, they can be really, really useful if you guys are trying to improve in Warzone. I personally have never played on bumper jumper. I've always played on default, but I do play claw, so I don't actually need to change this at all. And playing claw allows me to look around, allows me to slide cancel, jump around, crouch, prone, while still being able to track players and look around, which is really, really important. Like I said, we're going to get in depth on this in another video. I'm going to basically just dedicate an entire video to this subject alone, but trust me, button layout is really, really important. If you guys are trying to get better, I recommend either learning how to play claw or changing your button layout. All right, guys, with that being said, the last thing I want to touch up on is your sensitivity. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of sensitivity before. You guys are probably toggled around with it a lot, but finding that perfect sense is also going to dramatically affect your gameplay. If you guys are new to the game and you just want to improve at the game, then I do have some settings that will really help with that. Personally, for me, if you guys are just trying to get better at the game, you guys want the best sensitivity for console players, I really do recommend 1111 or 9.9. This is giving you guys a pretty fast, you know, look around, but at the same time, it's very controllable, unlike other sensitivities like 1414 or even 2020. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that I actually played on that in the past, even on console, and I was really good at it, but that's only really because I play the game a lot. If you guys don't play that often, it's going to be hard to adapt to 2020. So playing on something like 9.9 where you can come back and not be thrown off by how fast you're looking around is going to be really, really important and really, really beneficial for you guys actually getting better at the game. So play around with some settings. I make tons of settings videos all the time, just trying out new things and letting everyone know how they feel. If you guys are trying to try something new, like I said, I recommend 9.9. If you guys are trying to see my custom sensitivity per zoom, this is what I have so far. You guys can toggle around with this a little bit. I wouldn't really mess with these ADS senses, but the only ones I'll focus on is the high zoom and the low zoom. The other ones aren't really that important. And then in response curve type is kind of important. I play in dynamic. If you guys don't play in dynamic, then I kind of do recommend you guys switch to it because it's actually my favorite one. And I actually, you know, notice the most success when it comes to other, you know, in response curve types. So if you guys are trying to, you know, improve at all, then I do recommend you guys switch to dynamic if you guys don't have it up there already. I'll also make a video on this describing everything about, you know, in response curve types and how you guys can use these to get much better at the game as well in a future video. But yeah, guys, those are my top 5 tips on how you guys can improve and raise your KD on console. If this actually helped you guys out at all, be sure to drop a like in the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and post notifications. And let me know if there's anything else you guys want to improve within Warzone. If there's any other tips I can touch up on in a future video. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, and understanding always.